Hi Taurus and Taurus rising. Here is a general look at your solar chart for March 2015, and the sun is in Pisces, and that is actually quite a forward moving area for you. It's quite progressive. It's to do with connections with groups, friends, making new friends or associations which could be useful, connecting with a community of kindred spirits. So that will tend to be center stage, and other things will tend to revolve around that until the 21st. There is some quite sludgy, rather uncertain energy around for all of the signs for about the first two and a bit weeks. It is not necessarily particularly bad news for you and in your sign at all, but some things aren't quite how they're presented, or maybe there are stresses about something that hasn't happened, or it is actually just ungrounded and unfounded, but there could be something which is happening in another kind of a way, but maybe you don't have all the information, particularly in the first part of the third week. So it's not a great time to really come down firmly on one side or another. You know, it's not a great time to really make solid decisions and plans. That's what I would say anyway. There is also going to be a solar eclipse, and that's happening on the 20th. That's opening the way to a change in habits, and perhaps ringing the changes or expectations as well, and perhaps ringing the changes to do with friendships, to do with your group commitments or connections. And this is the moment to go in for more nurturing activities, to healing activities, to go in for something which takes you out of yourself. And this is the moment to if you have a vision for how you'd like it to be in the future, then this is the moment up until the eclipse time, which will be in Europe anyway, starting at about 7:40 a.m. To just write down a statement of intent of how you'd like things to be evolving over the coming months, because that eclipse energy will then take that out over the coming 6 months and to help it to grow. But if you don't have a dream, how are you going to have a dream come true? So and then Mercury until the 13th is in an area to do with your general direction in life, but also goals and ambitions and things that you've got to come up to certain standards to achieve, or maybe to connect with officials, or kind of more official standards, you know, that kind of thing. Or maybe it's parents, maybe it's teachers, just people in some kind of authority. Or maybe it's not like that. Maybe that you're looking up to someone, or not looking up to them, but somebody is there that you want to make the right impression on, whatever impression that is. And you have to be more aware of presentation and image, okay? And then Mercury moves out of there into an area where you can be discussing things and throwing ideas around, and banter and maybe camaraderie with others, a group of others, friends, and touching base there with friends, but making new connections, and some kind of club, some kind of group like that. Equally, you could find that this is stimulated and inspiring because they are quite different to what you're used to, and maybe it goes the other way too. You're quite different to what they're used to. It can be a little bit like that. It's quite an unconventional house. It's also technology orientated, so you might have to have your head more into the technological side of things from the 13th. And then your ruling planet Venus is transiting quite a sensitive, soft, personal, maybe quite emotional, nostalgic, sentimental area of your chart, and you could be mulling certain things over and figuring out what certain things are worth to you or were worth to you, and keeping maybe a lot under wraps. Mars is in there as well, So that does suggest, because Mars does like to be busy, so that you would be busier behind the scenes, but also your emotions could be feeling quite strong and quite dynamic. You could be feeling quite touchy, and maybe, you know, it wouldn't take a lot to push one of your buttons. So this Mars transit is going to also, you know, on the plus side, stimulate your unconscious, your imagination, your dream world, your visions, which is why I said, you know, with the eclipse energy, you could use that energy quite well to work with the law of attraction or any other kind of, you know, vision board or whatever it is, however you do it, or just write a little note to yourself of how you would like your life to be in the future, because Mars does like to be busy, and in this very, very it's an area of the chart which is very, very close to your higher self, but also your deep inner self as well. And it does turn your energies inwards, and so you can be more easily affected by outside influences, and I don't know, pick up things. So just deliberately make sure, if you are a sensitive person like that, make sure that you've got stronger maybe protection or shielding around you. And this is a great time though for those things I've listed, but also for healing, rest and recuperation, you know, putting your feet up, following certain remedies or practices, that kind of thing. So Venus leaves that area on the 17th and comes into your sign. So this is really nice. This is you feeling more gregarious and sociable, but still in a gentler kind of way, and maybe in a slightly more emotional at times kind of a way, feeling a little bit sentimental and nostalgic, perhaps emotions getting in the way of your clarity, of your mental clarity at times. Perhaps it's not like that at all. It depends on where you're at, your age, and also everything about, you know, your natal chart energies. But this is one of the ways it can work out. Reaching out for more contact with others though from the 17th is likely, and others just feeling that sort of glamorous twinkle and sparkle of Venus, which is kind of suffusing your energy field from the 17th. So makes it a good time for you to come across in an attractive way to others, and others like your style, or persuasive, or getting, you know, a good deal through negotiations, or pouring oil on troubled waters, or you're just more in the mood for that. You're not so maybe feeling inward starting from the 17th onwards. But then the Sun on the 21st does go into the background area that Mars and Venus were in. So again, still keeping maybe cards close to your chest, maybe dealing with things that others don't realize, and you being there more as a support to others as well, you feeling more inclined to do that. Or maybe there's just the demand there, and you've got to keep a weather eye on what's going on, you know, safety issues or whatever it is, what's going on around you. And as I say again, others may not fully realize what is going on, and so really you're putting yourself out, you're being quite selfless with that energy. But with with Venus coming into your sign, you should start to feel more balanced. You should, if you were feeling a little bit, you know, off or out of balance, then this energy will start to bring back in the balance again. Just a word about the Mars energy for all of the signs, which I put on the other video, March 2012 and 2015 in a nutshell, is it's touching Uranus, particularly in the second week. So that can mean there are maybe disruptive influences around. It can mean that. It can just mean for you that you are doing this sort of handling in the background, or beavering away in the background, or maybe being aware of certain deadlines or whatever it is, and feeling a bit pressured. It might be like that, and it might not be anything huge or dramatic, but across the wider stage it could be. It just could be. Having said that though, on that other video I mentioned, I have talked about the Jupiter-Uranus aspect, so more on that in a minute with your chart. Saturn will be in your 8th house until next June. This is really a slow letting go and clearing the decks, which allows the new green shoots to come up in your life. It could be connected to property matters, finances, emotional matters in your life, relationships, and just as you need to be looking into yourself and asking some really, maybe squaring up to some deeper questions, and then dealing with it slowly, and it can actually get you stuck in an agreement or a previous contract, or make you feel stuck because you were there before but you didn't feel stuck, but now you do, because it's Saturn, and Saturn tends to test us in the fashion of whatever house she's going through. So this one you might feel stuck with an agreement or a contract or something that's gone on before, and you need to find the loophole, you need to find the way around, you need to start, you know, going out into new and fresh sort of fields of activity and of understanding and of expectation and just routines, I suppose, as well. But it might not be like that. It might be but more external things like property. And you Taurians born the 23rd to the 25th of April with 3 to 5 degrees rising are going to feel that energy the most, or possessions actually, which are jointly held. This is an area to do with jointly held resources and, you know, your values and what you feel is correct from a moral standpoint. All right, so stick to your guns if you need to. Jupiter is in your home area, and Jupiter is having this great connection with Uranus this month. Jupiter is the planet of expansion and also potential abundance. So you feeling as though you want to expand, to do with your place on the map, your location, or maybe having more access to other properties or other venues. But with this Uranian connection, really this is time to reach much further into something which is taking a bit of a gamble maybe, but reaching out into something which is making you feel excited, enthusiastic, and getting those juices flowing, you know, in some way or another. So maybe reaching into doing something or going somewhere which you didn't think was possible before, and then it kind of becomes possible, and that's amazing to you. It could also not be like that. It might be just to do with just more to do with family connections for you, but whether that's to do with family or neighborhood, or just feeling cramped and restless and you want to bust out a bit and get access to somewhere, or in a way with others that you prefer, so playing a role with others that you prefer, then this would be the time to do it. Jupiter is there until August, and it's this particular month that it's on this trajectory of around about 120 degrees with Uranus. And Taurians born the 1st to the 7th of May, or with 11 to 16 degrees rising, are going to feel that energy the most. And I would say probably from the, you know, just after the first 2.5 weeks is the best time to really start using that more risky, more exciting Jupiter-Uranian energy. But it'll be around for the whole month, so depending on what's going on, because it can't be calculated actually sometimes, this one. In fact, most of astrology can't really be calculated with great precision, because it's like weather forecasting. And so far we haven't got huge computers doing all the calculations for us, like they do in actually, you know, the meteo, the meteorological places. But it'll come. I bet it will. And it might be that something just like a meteorite just soared out of a clear blue sky and drops in your lap, and it's like, wow. So try to be open-minded, try to be flexible, and see how you can work with it, because it might be, you know, one of those moments which is kind of a really happy coincidence for you. Maybe not on the face of it, but you know, after a bit you begin to realize how you can capitalize on it. That's it for March. If you know your rising sign, your moon sign, listen to those. This is written up on my website. Well, the basics of it's written up on my website, but I do tend to go off at a tangent, so that all of that's not written. And that's it. I'll see you the next time.